Hello, everyone, and welcome to Team Talk from Blood Bowl Live. Here to go through every single team in our favorite tabletop football game. I'm joined by Luke today, and we are going to go through a team that I absolutely love. It's full of your favorite big guy. It is Ogres. We're going to have a look at the roster and see what they look like in the third edition. And I absolutely love the Ogre team. The kind of the shenanigans you can get up to them with them are just so much fun. Luke, if you are brand new to Blood Bowl or you've not played Ogres before, why is it you would pick up the Ogre team?
So I think it's probably a tough one for a completely new player. So they're a stunty team. So if you're not aware, stunties are basically Blood Bowl on hard mode, where they're not particularly great at anything, but they normally have one kind of niche to them that makes them quite a unique team. The Ogre team is unique in you can field 6 big guys at the same time as part of your roster. None of them have loner, so you're not having to re-roll anything like that. And then you have an army of strength 1 Noblars kind of corralling around near the ogres. And so if you're a kind of experienced player but have never given them a go, there's great joy in no one being able to 2 dice your players for without huge difficulty. But yeah, so I think great fun to play.
I love the Ogre side because to me they always feel quite kind of cathartic. Like I always used to pick up Ogres if I needed I needed a break from like I wanted to do some
Yeah.
ridiculousness, and you really can with them. And looking at the roster that you can have with the Ogre team, your linemen are Noblars, 15k, movement 5, strength 1, edge 3, passing 4, armor 6, pretty much the same stats as a Snotling, but without swarming. Dodge, right stuff, sidestep, stunty, and titchy. You then have your big guys that fill out the team. And as Luke said, you can take 6 in total, 5 of which are ogre blockers, one for 140,000. You can take 5 of those. Strength, movement 5, strength 5, edge 4, passing 5, armor 10, bonehead, mighty blow, thick skull, and throw teammate. And as you said, key thing there, no loner on any of these ogres. And then you can take 1 runt punter, who is, for me, one of the most fun things about the team. 145k, movement 5, strength 5, edge 4, passing 4, armor 10, bonehead, kick teammate, mighty blow, and thick skull. So you can't throw a teammate, but you can absolutely kick them. And if it goes wrong, you just kick them to death, which is way more fun than it's just incredible when it happens. Um,
Yep.
I mean, in this new kind of world and new rule set that we've got in third edition, Luke, the ogres have got off without any nerfs and also without much buff. They've kind of been left alone, which is quite nice. But it's probably the kind of special rule of brawling brutes that might be quite key for them when it comes to SPP building.
Yeah, and I think that is probably one of I mean, I'm primarily a bash coach and a load of teams now. So Brawling Brutes is you now gain 3 SPP for casualties, but only 2 for touchdowns on those teams. So with Ogres having a load of Strength 5 Mighty Blow pieces, it could potentially flip how quickly they're earning SPP and skilling up. And obviously, you still have Bonehead to deal with, but without Loner, you can re-roll those Boneheads if and when need be. Although choosing when to re-roll them, I think, is quite a key skill for ogres, or a skill of the coach, because sometimes it doesn't matter, but other times, if the ogre's holding the ball and you need to get the touchdown, but you've burnt your re-rolls earlier and they roll the Bonehead, that can be pretty frustrating. But they, I suppose, also do benefit from you can't stall with ogres as with the new rules. So
Yes.
because you have to roll a dice as long as the ogre's got the ball, maybe I should clarify, because you have to roll that bonehead, you have to roll a dice. So therefore you can never be stalling in the rule set. So you can have an ogre cage, 1 square away from the touchdown if you wanted to try and stall it out. They've also gained devious skill access. So Noblars have it on primary, and then all of the ogres have gained it on secondary. And I think this is quite fun because fouling is quite important. Once you've got the ogres taking players down, the noblars can then come in and get those fouls and try and remove players that way too. And with all the buffs to throw teammate as well, I think ogre kicking and throwing teammates, I think will start generating SPP for those players that you're and the noblars you're throwing. And then if you can get the skills that improve your landing, your accuracy, or even using them as missiles and going bullseye. And I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but there's a skill which gives basically a mighty blow for a throw teammate at a player.
Yes, the kind of, I think it's called like something like deadly landing or something similar,
Yeah,
where
that's
you
it.
yeah you
Something like
just
that.
kind of, if you crash in, if you are the Noblar and you've got this skill and you crash into someone, you just wipe them out. Which I will quickly look up the name of now. But while I do,
Yeah, that's fine.
the ogres are always an interesting one when it comes to a £1 million build, because if you have all of those ogres in there, then for a stunty team you can have quite a high team value. But what does 1 million get you for this team?
Yeah, so I've built a list, and you can probably play around with your number of starting ogres and noblars based on kind of what you feel is more appropriate. But really, it hasn't changed too much from season 2 because there hasn't been any cost changes to the players. But so the one I've got comes to 13 players total with 965 team value, with the low cost lineman, I think, turns it to about 845 actual team value. So you'd have 150 no 100 155k inducements against a 1 mil team with this. So it's 8 noblars, 4 ogre blockers, and then 1 runt punter with 2 rerolls. All comes to 965. So I think it's a pretty rounded build. You get you get 5 big guys, which obviously, say against Tomb Kings who are running 4, you're still able to outstrength them in that, and you can move the noblars in to get assists quite quickly, which is, and that they've all got stunty and titchy, so they're dodging everywhere on a 2, which means you can get those assists in even when you're big guy versus big guy. And it kind of feels fairly balanced, but ultimately hasn't changed too much from season 2.
So lethal flight is the skill which allows, if your player's got lethal flight,
Okay.
then it's a +1 when they crash into. Yeah, 155 sort of ish as an inducement is quite good when you're if you are doing a game that is predominantly throwing teammate or kicking teammate. Then previously riotous rookies were a really good shout
Yeah,
for that. He says as he is flicking through the book to
I
look
think I have
for
seen it.
riotous rookies. There it
I
is.
think it's still in there.
Yeah, riotous rookies 150. So I think they have gone up in
Yeah.
price, right,
Oh,
as
yeah, I
rookies,
think it
because I
used to be
think they were
100.
100 before.
Yeah.
But you can still get that in this team, so you can still have a potential, 7 additional players to throw and kick to your heart's content. I really like. I think while the team hasn't changed, the rules around ogres have changed, and I think it's going to make them a really fun team. I think they are the ultimate throw teammate team. If you like throw teammate and you like what you can do with it, the changes they've made to that make this kind of the ultimate team for that, if that's how you like to play, which I absolutely do.
Yeah, and getting to do it twice a turn. I mean, you will burn through noblars if you're if you're throwing teammate twice a turn, but uh, the potential of damage or kind of shenanigans you can pull off with that, stealing balls from under people, it's all so satisfying when it works.
And I think if you also the day, if you choose to play ogres, the day that you kick a Noblar up the field and then throw the Noblar even further, like when you pace out the punter
When
and a
you do
thrower,
the whole, yeah,
when you do the whole length of the pitch with a Noblar because you have kicked him and then thrown him and then scored a touchdown, which I think I've done once
I think I have once
before,
as
and
well.
it's so satisfying. It's so
Mm.
satisfying. Ogres look like a great team. They sound like great fun. I think you hit the nail on the head early on. If you're brand new to Blood Bowl, it's probably not where you start, but I think it's a really fun team to pick up and play. So definitely, the best way to do it is to just give them a go. If you want more details on possible setups and things like that, there's plenty of resources out there. Bonehead Podcast do loads of setup suggestions for teams, so we recommend going and checking those out. But that is it for our Ogre review. We will be back next time for another team to look at all of the teams. We're going to look at every single one in the world of Blood Bowl. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Luke, and we'll see you all next
See you
time.
next time.